This is the kingdom. Look, this is the kingdom. So we literally live in the kingdom. We live in what's called the lowest heaven. This is literally called the lowest heaven. There is a mystic school of Judaism or Jewish thought called Halakot, which is the school of the heavenly palaces. And then you have Merkaba schools, which enlist vigorous meditation to increase one's spiritual elevation. These schools show you how to access these aspects of God. As I said, God is there. God is always there. And the energy is always coming down onto us. We're on the lowest plane. We have to balance all of our energetic centers because we are made of the tree of life. I'm going to show you a really cool poster, actually, one of my favorites.
Danny, is Earth the only place that has to go by these rules?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are worlds within worlds within worlds. I feel like here you have God's power, absolute, is the world of emanation, personified as fire. Then you have the second level of God, Bariya, which is God's emotion. Then you have Yetzirah, which is God's mental state. And finally, the last world, the world of action, Asiya. We are in the world of action. That's why action is known as what? Karma. That's the Sanskrit word for action. Mm-hmm. So in Buddhism, they would say you have to practice the Dharma to fix your karma. In Kabbalah, there's a different terminology, and I mentioned this in another class. They have something called devkut. Devkut means to cling to God, right? Clinging to God. And your tikkun is your mandate or your karma. It's something you have to fulfill as a Kabbalist. And there were brilliant Kabbalists who were mixing their ideas. They didn't mind blending their ideas with Christians. A lot of Catholics did mind. So you'll see something called mystic Christianity developing around the time of the Renaissance. You'll have great magicians like Cornelius Agrippa or Eliphas Levi. These men were fantastic. They were mystic Christians who studied Kabbalah, and they brought it into the Western world. That was their mission, along with like Madame Blavatsky. This is where occult came from, because the word occult means secret. It couldn't be, the papal supremacy could not have any knowing of this, or else they would be killed. They would be destroyed. Just like you're familiar with the Baphomet, the devil card, right? Everyone looks at the devil card, but it's really Pan. It's the horned god of sexuality and enjoyment. So I remember this concept of good and evil we spoke about earlier. It's not. It's only elevation. There's only one's will. Because even those who are considered evil still have a desire to be loved, to be accepted, to be nourished. What happens, what we see as evil, is an imbalance. It's overconsumption of fear, encapsulating love. This is what we perceive as evil, but it's actually a fear to love. I follow a mystic Christian Kabbalist group from the teachings of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was responsible for creating a sacred book called the Sefer Yetzirah. The Sefer Yetzirah was the book that showed how God mathematically created humans. And this was the picture I was looking for, by the way. God mathematically created humans with a sound, because it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, indicating that sound is what formulated the cosmos. It's wonderful. So Rabbi Akiva and his student, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, wrote the sacred book of the Kabbalists called the Zohar. And so these books were the pinnacle to Kabbalistic success and achievement. Very excellent book. Later on, another blind prophet named Isaac the Blind was a wandering rabbi who wrote another book called the Bahir. The Bahir was the book that actually formulated God's power. This was very old, because this tree of life was not constructed since the time of Samaria. As you know, Abraham, the guy who created all modern religion, he was Sumerian. He was from Ur, which was ancient Samaria. And next to him, you'll see pictures of genies and winged beasts. It's funny because in ancient Samaria, there was a relic of the god Enki, who was creating humanity, and he has what's seen as a sun disk. The disk is also called a seal. So the very earliest known seal was there in Babylon and Samaria. So I want you to do me a favor, if you will. Take out $1. Anybody has $1 on them? Let's do it. Take out $1. See, occultism was kept within many mystic Christian groups. Our founding fathers, the enlightened thinkers, they all drew on this idea. If you look at the back of this dollar bill, you will see the bird, of course, this bird, right? Look above him, you'll see stars. If you look at the stars, they're formulated in the Star of David. On the left-hand side, the eagle. Of course, this eagle is who? It's Ra, Amun-Ra. It's also Shemesh. It's the god of the sun. We are in New Babylon. We are in New Rome. Make no mistake about it. The Templars who were killed by the Catholic priests were killed for worshiping the Baphomet. Again, it was created. The concept of the devil was created. We all have the devil in us, and a little bit of God in us, all the time. They say that the devil is God's best agent. I do believe this to be true. Because it has to exist. The darkness has to form the outline of light. So if you look at each of your dollar bills, why are they in seals? Why are they perfectly circular? Makes you wonder, huh? Because those who created our government studied Solomonic magic. Yes, they did. You better believe they did. If you look here, it's a temple, a pyramid, and a seal. If you were to connect these points here, actually, my friend did it for me last time. You would connect the OV, the N, the U. It would create another Star of David. It's amazing. Right there, right before your eyes. And the sun god is called Shemesh. Shemesh is what the Hebrews still use for the word sun today. So the center of God's power. You have this. Look at police badges, stamps, Pulitzer Prize awards. Look at book awards, right? You'll see what? A seal. Because a seal decrees success or protection or sustainability. That's why seals were created. Now these here this is called an angelic seal. This angelic seal is created using a formula. Okay? Formulas. Remember, you need a specific formula to harness the seal. Not only is the seal to be constructed on a special day, like if you're making, for instance, a Jupiter seal, the Latin word for Jupiter is jueves, right? So, on the day of Jupiter, jueves, on the time of Jupiter, utilizing Jupiter's angels, you would construct a seal on that time, or else it won't work. So you need to utilize what's called a time chart or a planetary time chart. You can find them online. King Solomon's seals require the following: a biblical verse from the book of Psalms. Psalms was created by King David. Remember, King David slew Goliath? He wrote a song called the Psalms book. Everyone knows the Psalms well. The Psalms is amazing. Psalms is, believe it or not, a spell book. That's right. Most of the seals have a parchment or a fragment from the book of Psalms inscribed on them. Yeah. The second, you'll also see parts of the Song of Solomon inscribed on the seals. So you'll have the prayer or the scripture with the angelic influence, the planetary influence, the angel, all constructed on that day. So I want to simplify this because, like I said, I don't want to get too complex.